The future awaits. Possibilities. Hi, I'm Celeste. Welcome back to Bookish and Belle. If this is your first time watching me, I make videos about minimalist style, lazy girl beauty, books, food, and other ways to make your life more effortless and awesome. So if that sounds good to you, I mean, there's a subscribe button right down there if you want to hit it, or, you know, wait a few minutes, see if this is your thing, but I'd really appreciate it. And make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you like it as well. So, I'm going to be talking now about starting my first ever bullet journal. If you are on the internet, you have probably heard of these. They're kind of having a big moment right now. But if you haven't heard of them, don't worry, you will get a pretty good idea of what it's like from this video, and if you want to know more about the specifics and the concept, I'm going to link a very quick video by the guy who created it right down there, and it basically gives you just like a very brief outline of everything you need to know. But then you can also look on YouTube and Pinterest and Instagram for tons and tons of inspiration for the ways that people have just taken this to the limits in terms of like fun scrapbooking and doodling and making them as elaborate as they want or as minimal as they want, and all the different kinds of things that people keep track of. They make different weekly and monthly spreads and to-do lists and track what they're eating and habits and how much water they're drinking and what books they're reading and all kinds of stuff like that. So, as I said, this is going to be my beginning of doing one. In my personal life, I'm just like a very, very digital person for the most part. Like, I like to take notes digitally because I like to be able to search them later, so that's all I do at work. I don't really need to print things off to read them. I'm just like very used to digital stuff, and I like how it keeps everything really simple. It's easy to get rid of stuff, it's easy to find stuff. But what I really liked about this analog approach is that it creates a keepsake, and it also kind of allows you a creative outlet to just sort of meditate on what's going on in your life. And I find that that could be a really great way to just externalize my thoughts and worries and planning and just like all the different stuff that's buzzing around in your head. Some people have described it as the KonMari for your constant mental buzz, and but you know, more eloquently than that. And I was like, oh, I love KonMari. I'm gonna look into this. So we'll see how it goes. So far, I'm like really excited about it. And basically, the way that I'm using this is I still use iCal to keep track of all my meetings at work, and I put every specific appointment in there. I share it with my husband so I can see what he's doing, he can see what I'm doing, and I love that. I love that it's automatic, I love that it's reliable, I love that it's digital. This isn't replacing a calendar for me so much as it's a to-do list and a little memory bank and a place for all the lists all in one place. So without further ado, I will show you what I've got going on mine so far, and please leave any comments and questions that you have. Let me know if you keep a bullet journal. Feel free to send me links to your Instagrams of it or YouTube videos or anything like that. I would love to see them. And let me know if you want an update on this. I believe I will be starting a fresh one on January 1st. So this one is just going to be sort of the end of the year and kind of like a workshop phase for me, and then hopefully I'll get a better idea of what kinds of things I want to be using this for in the format, and then I'm going to start a brand new fresh one on January 1st. And ideally I would like to start a fresh one every new year so that then I can just sort of like categorize them and keep them all together and have an outline of all of these years, which I think is going to be really cool because I used to keep journals in depth on paper years ago, and I've really gotten out of the habit of it, but that is such a lovely keepsake to have, so I'm pretty excited about it. Anyway, really without further ado, I think I already said that once this video. I like to go on and on sometimes. I'm working on it. Here it is. So here's everything that I used to get started. a classic Moleskine journal. It's the soft cover and it's got the lightly dotted pages. I used a ruler to help myself draw straight lines, but that's optional. This one has the rulers of Britain on it because puns and history are both awesome, so no apologies for that one. And then this is a pen, and I'm using an artist's pen. This is the Faber-Castell Pitt artist pen, black 199S, but you can use any pen you're comfortable with, obviously. And I have my elastic going diagonally on it just to create a little temporary pen strap right here on the edge. So that's what that's about. And now let's get into it. So first there are the index pages, and this is where I keep track of when I start a new month, my future log. Here's a collection I created, what I read in 2016, and I just put the number of the page so that I can easily find what I'm looking for in here. I don't index the daily pages just because they're all in order and they're after each month, so it's, you know, pretty easy to find. Here's my future log. As you can tell, I made some mistakes. I started this late at night because I was really excited because the journal had just come from Amazon while I was at work, and I was probably a little too sleepy to be starting because the first things I did were not the neatest, but you'll see it gets better. So basically the future log is where you get a big picture idea of all of the major events and deadlines and responsibilities and holidays and things like that for the next few months. I meant to just do it for the end of the year, but like I said, I was very sleepy when I drew this, so I was like, oh, 4 more months. I'll make them go all the way across, and then it was 8 more months. So good job, Celeste. And then you have the first monthly page. So here's August. You got the days of the week down the side, and I put in all of the major events this month. So my office canoeing trip, my husband's birthday, one of my team members' last days at my company, a movie in the park, Shakespeare in the park, canvassing for Hillary Clinton, another movie in the park, Taste of OTR, that's a neighborhood over the Rhine in Cincinnati, and then a trip that we are probably going to take this weekend to the Indiana Dunes. And you also put your monthly to-dos here. So right now I just have hang a gallery in my study. That's the last gallery I have to hang, you guys. Pretty excited. Hanging aprons in the kitchen. I need to buy chip clips and I need to scan family photos. If you are a subscriber, you probably know the long saga of how much I need to scan family photos. So follow along, will you? It's an adventure. And here you have my first weekly spread. So this is sort of how I chose to do my dailies, is to have it all as 1 week, because I really tend to think of things in terms of week-long chunks and what I can accomplish that week. That's just sort of the way that my mind works, because I do work a 9-to-5 job, and so weekends are a big thing for me. So as you can tell, this one is very sloppy. I created an attempted tracker here, but that wasn't really working out. So I think what I'm going to do is just start a monthly tracker when I start September. But I have started planning for next week, and I did this when I had some more sleep, so it's much neater. And you can see I've got dots on these things that are things to do, so like a revision of an article that I need to do at work and something I'm planning on cooking. And then I have little circles for things that are actual events. So this is my colleague's last day lunch, Grease at Washington Park, that's a movie in the park, Midsummer Night's Dream at Miami Whitewater, Shakespeare in the Park, and canvassing. And that's all I have on here right now because this is for next week, and so it's going to kind of get filled in as it happens a little bit more. This is just sort of like the planning. And then I've created a place here where I can keep track of what book I was reading each week, and I might even keep track of how far I got in it, or maybe what format I was reading. I'm not sure yet. And then this is the first collection that I've created. This is what I read in 2016, and I decided to do it for the whole calendar year. So even though I'm starting this in August, I went ahead and I put in all of the books that I've read earlier in the year, and I just kind of did them like they're on a little shelf. I added some things, so like a snow globe here, because these are books I kind of read around the winter time and getting into spring. I've got some tulips, so I just thought that was kind of fun. And then I've got space to fill in the others. Hopefully they will fit well. What I did for spacing this out was I just looked at how many books I've read so far, and then I tried to estimate how many more I'll read and leave enough space for them, so we'll see how that goes. And then I have set up the next week just to try something a little bit different with the headers. I think I'm going to experiment with a bunch of different headers this year, and then maybe try to come up with one that is going to be my consistent one in January. At least that's what I'm thinking right now. So as you can see, this header kind of has this ribbon thing going on, and then this one is a little similar but kind of a more sleek modern look to it. So that's all that I have so far. So I hope you enjoyed that peek at the beginnings of my very first bullet journal. Like I said, be sure to leave your comments, let me know what you think. Please give this video the thumbs up if you enjoyed it. That helps me out a lot and it helps other people find the video. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!